Yo, what's up everyone, Akarni coming to you with a new video. Today, we're gonna go over Giovanna's Safejump setups. There's a lot of things that people do not actually know about her Safejump setups, for the fact that there are very core differences between which buttons you press and the frame that are given to you. So, there are two ways to actively go ahead and get a Safejump setup with Giovanna, which is to one, get a hard knockdown with CS, or anything that like gets your opponent into the air. So even like this combo for example works. Or something simple like 2D, where it's just you just get them onto the ground immediately with a sweep. So those are the two ways in order to get a Safejump setup. The other one is obviously if they are in the air and jumping, but like that's a whole other topic. After that you have two OTG options, right? Which is CS, and you have 5k. Right? So yeah, for example, you have those two differences. And before I go over how to practice them, let me just go over why they are important to know. And a lot of this comes down to the actual frame data of characters. So Soul is a great example because Soul has a frame 7, DP, a frame 8 HDP, and a frame 7 super. So this is gonna come in handy. Remember those three numbers, so 7, 8, 7. Right? This is what we're gonna remember for now. Okay, so now the first thing is we're always gonna use the same combo from now on. I'm just going to use dash 5k, 6p, 214k. Alright, this is what we're gonna work with right now. So let's start with the obvious, which is CS. So if you use CS OTG, you can block his H. Or basically said, any character who has a frame 8 or above DP, which is either Leo's HDP, any super that's like frame 8 and it's a reversal, Kai for example, who has frame 11 and I think frame 13 as his DPs, against those you can just use CS as much as you want and please. The problem starts when those characters have a frame 7 DP. So let's use Soul's, well, S-Volcanic Viper. All of a sudden I'm not safe anymore. I get hit. So the reason why that is because I'm literally one frame short here. Like I am legit one frame short because of that OTG. So what we gotta do instead is in that scenario, we use 5k. So if you're trying to block a frame 7 DP or a frame 7 reversal, you have to use 5k. That is a major difference when it comes to Safejump setups. And the same goes for his reversal super, which is also frame 7. As you can see, I'm landing right on the ground. And now let's see what happens when I do CS. I am barely there. I am barely there. I'm literally a frame short, as you can see. So that is a major difference, and that makes a lot of factors harder for Giovanna, but also easier at the same time. So the problem is with 5k, you won't always be able to land it in comparison to CS. So, for example, if we do this right here, as a practice tool, I'm not gonna get 5k at all. If I do this on the other hand, I will get it. So like in some situations where, for example, you're like here, and you didn't hit the 214k for whatever reason, and you want to get a setup here, this doesn't work anymore. Like this straight up does not work anymore unless you fully commit to a block. That is the only option. So I would always suggest to practice and find combos that work specifically with 5k. So something like 5k, 6p, 214k always is supposed to work against like a majority of the cast. I guess against Soul it's a bit trickier, but it should still work every time. Right? Another setup is, as I already showed you, 214k after 2D. If they're in the air, you can get enough going, like just after, like pretty much after any knockdown. This one does not work. So if you do the 214S right here, you will only get CS. And the reason why this is important is to know the difference and when to risk reward manage, right? So essentially, let's say right here in this scenario, I want to cross up Soul, and then I get a CS and he has bar. This means I am in danger here. If he inputs it perfectly, that is, right? If he doesn't input it perfectly and he's a frame off, then obviously, like, you're gonna be able to get the Safejump, but it's just something to keep in mind. So what you can do instead, which is very good, is instead you slightly delay your 2D in those situations, and you space it perfectly, right? So you would do this. And you would delay it enough to where it doesn't clash anymore, but hits soul instead. Like so. As you can see, if you delay it enough, you can bypass the DP. And the same thing goes for his HDP, by the way. There is no difference there. If you get the exact timing right, where it's active enough, it will pass by. It's a very tricky timing. But yeah, so this is essentially what it boils down to when you try to do the Safejump setups. There are a bunch more things that you could talk about, but this is basically the easiest way to get it across. If you want to practice Safejump setups, either with CS or with 5k, I would just suggest simply using this, so you get your opponent to the corner and you use 2D, and then you CS afterwards to get the timing down first. And then afterwards, you can do CS 214k in order to get the dash 5k timing down. Right? And essentially how you would do a Safejump is the following. You would hit CS or 5k, and then what you can do afterwards is immediately jump cancel it. So let me press another button like P, and I'm holding up the exact same way, same with H. And now look at the comparison with those two moves. Like even far slash, like which is the same category as CS, you can't do anything. But here you can jump cancel. So what you do is you get the 5k, you immediately hold up instant air dash and JH. You see? And then you can punish them accordingly for however you want. Please do as much damage as you want. Go fucking ham, go nuts to butts. I don't really care. But those are the bases of it. I know a lot of people don't actually know this, which is surprising since we're like 8 months into the game already. But hey, I just want to give you this right now. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to put them into the description down below. And I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.